Okay, guys, if you like rock, you're going to like this episode. And all these rocks I got for free. You know, they're not as nice as the rocks that cost thousands of dollars, but I don't have thousands of dollars to spend on rocks. You got to pick your battles. These are big rocks. That's a big foot. That's a big rock. This is even bigger rock. That's the same foot. Different rock. Look how big that rock is. Anyway, I got some more rocks up in that crane truck up there. Trying to design on the fly. I kind of had a sort of a crazy schematic for this place. Didn't spend a lot of time on it. I like to just freestyle. So here I am. I got to drop the rest of these rocks in location. Did this last time. Maybe this is episode 2. I don't know. See how long episode 1 is. If it's too long, it'll be 2 episodes. So I have 6 more giant rocks in that truck over there. They're bigger than these rocks I already put in. So basically I figured, okay, I'm gonna have a pathway going through here. See the little golf cart path right through here? You can see the functionality. We're gonna talk pathways too, guys. The garden, it's the most important thing is access and adequate access. Best thing you can do is get yourself some golf cart wide pathways, which is what these tire marks are here. And so you can see you need about 5 feet. Golf cart's about 4 feet. What's up, guys? What's up? What's happening? Woohoo! Woo! Let's party! Ah, let's party! Yeah, turtle party! They're looking at me because they're like, human, where's the food? Where's the food? I'll feed these turtles for you guys. You'll love them. This is going to be an Airbnb someday, guys. I've been saying this for 9 years. It's really going to happen. First, I have to feed the turtles, tortoises to be exact. Aldabra. No, sulcata. Aldabra cadabra, sulcata. My daughter knows much more than I do. They're from Africa. Anyway, so there'll be a pathway through here. It's going to be a little more luxurious and pretty than the straight little tire marks that we have. There's going to be no pathways in this planter bed here. It's going to be a big open planter bed. However, over here I do want some pathways. So the pathways will determine where the rocks will go. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out the pathways, right? Normally you'd have paint. I don't have any paint. I have my foot though, and look what my foot can do. It can make a line in the dirt. So I've got a pathway system coming up here to the fire pit. I've got a pathway, going this way. Originally I was like, okay, well, let's continue off this pathway here, and we'll make a pathway through here. And then I thought, well, I also need a pathway that way. I'm going to have a pathway exit over here. That pathway is too close to this pathway. You don't want too many. You want a lot of gardening too. So I'm like, okay, let's scratch that. So I scratched that one out. And now I went with this one. So this is sort of a continuation. Try to make sense of your gardens, guys. So you can see the natural proclivity for walking would be to continue walking. And then we'll have a nice little mini gravel pathway for garden access, but also for fun strolling about, especially for little children. They love pathways. And I never really grew up, so that means I love them too. I probably will always love them. So anyway, my pathway has this nice little serpentine sort of snaking curve to it. It's the way you'd walk anyway. You don't walk in right angles typically, unless you're making a hard cut as an NFL wide receiver trying to throw off your defender. But if you're just walking through the garden, typically you just make a nice little arc. This is going to be a road just like it is now, because it's so convenient to run that crane through here and boom myself up and trim this tree and have tractor access. So it'll be an 8-foot wide dirt road. Probably have some palm trunks that separate the road from the dirt eventually. But anyway, so the pathway runs through here. I want to have a little bench under this tree. So the pathway runs across right through here. All this rock will be used. This is native to the site. I've been piling up whenever I dig holes, I find it. It's going to be a big, beautiful bed of rock around this tree, and we'll build a stone bench right here, and you'll be able to sit here and just chill in the shade on a hot day and look at all your friends drinking beers over there by the fire pit. So then the pathway is going to continue this way, and ultimately it's going to kind of go that way. I have to regrade this, and it's going to link up to some paths over there. That way we'll have an intermediate zone between this patio and the access of that large road. And that way it'll be easier to kind of get in here and maintain the garden. But also we'll circumnavigate the oak. This is the valley oak. It's a beautiful oak. We'll go around it, and then ultimately it will come up over here. There will be a dry stream bed that comes down through here, and then ultimately has all this rock material. And what that is for is the overflow of my rock spring plunge pool here, or whatever you want to call it, hot day cool off that I fill full of well water. All that water will eventually go down to the orchard, so it gets reused, fresh water. The water will travel across here when it overflows, when it rains, or if we're just filling it up, and it'll just look cool. We'll have a little stream bed through here of rock, and here's the actual overflow point. That's the low point of the whole system, installed years ago. So, does this look like the face of like a quail to you? Like the nose is on the left, the eyes are in the middle. Some really cool stone here. Anyway, you got to finish the stonework around my waterfall. Here's the sad remnants of Jeff Earl's unhappy face. There's my unhappy face when this tree died. I tried to save this big giant palm from my buddy Jeff. Dipsas decipiens, probably the rarest palm in California, and it died. But because it bifurcates, Jeff has been cutting off this little baby its entire life. And now all the energy is going to the baby, and look, it's just going, woo, yeah, it's time for me to party. So we'll see what happens with that. So back to the case in point, your dry stream bed goes through there. You have a pathway that crosses it. We'll probably get some big flatter stepping stones to make kind of like a little stepping stone across the dry stream. It's going to be awesome. Can't you tell? I mean, you give me enough years. It's been 9 years so far. Pretty much everything you see here is just about free. All this telephone poles, everything. So then, again, we have the main pathway that's big enough to handle the golf cart coming through here. Directly across from that, I'm going to center it and start a big pathway that comes off. This pathway is going to wind down, hang a left. It will also go that way out to the driveway and have lots of vegetation around it, so you can't see into the garden from the driveway. But then this pathway will split. You'll have one branch going that way, one branch going this way. So once you've determined where your pathways are, and well, might as well, while we're here, see the rock. These things are huge. Huge, I say huge. And I say huge, I mean it. Yeah. Once you figure that out, well, you can determine where your big rocks will go. Pathway here, giant rock there. That's my marker. Might even use this. Don't ever throw away your broken concrete. You might need to use it for wedging up your rocks the way you want them. And then, so down here, I have 6 rocks, remember? 6 rocks. I have a bunch of little ones, too, that we'll use, but you got to go with the big ones first. This is all really cool stuff that I got for almost free years ago. But it's very similar, color, texture. It's just that's a little more square. This is a little more rounded, but they'll work together. Remember, 3 rocks, 1, 2, 3, big ones, but I'm going to elevate those. I want this whole area elevated to give it some sex appeal, for lack of a better word or term or description. And so we have to put some dirt there before we put those rocks on top of the dirt. Then ultimately we'll fill in lots of dirt. A lot of that dirt up there should be going here. So we're going to have to move that dirt. So there's 3, 1, 2, 3. That leaves me 3 more. And remember, I already placed one up there, so I have 2 more rocks. So the pathways are telling me. Ultimately, the site will tell you what to do if you follow a sequential pattern of steps, and that is to figure out where your trees are, what critical space you need around them, what your main circulation routes are naturally, and then accommodate those with formal pathways. And then ultimately you'll have space left over. And then you basically want to put focal features in those spaces, either really cool plants or really cool rocks. In this case, really cool rocks first. And so then this site will ultimately deduce down for you what it wants. So what it wants is you have a pathway here, and then there's a pathway over there. So in here somewhere, I think we need a big rock, a big rock for a feature. So I'm kind of thinking like, you have these poles, shouldn't be behind a pole. Here's a big gap between the poles. You see that? 2 big poles, right? why not center the rock between those poles and center it between the big path and the little path? I'm kind of thinking like right here. All right. It's not centered. It's got to go this way a little bit. There. Okay. So then you'll have this centerpiece out there. Put a bunch of plants around it. That leaves you one more. So I'm thinking, I already have a rock down there. There's a bunch of feng shui rules you don't want to violate. And I'll show you one right now. See? One rock's going up there. The other one's here. This is extremely linear. Those rocks are laid out in a linear pattern. We need to triangulate that. So we're going to put a rock, big rock, kind of not where that one is, but I think right about here. There's the pathway edge. So I'm thinking halfway between, this is the edge of the road right here. This is sort of the vortex line I'm feeling right here. I'm feeling right there. That's what I'm feeling. So I'll mark that spot. So those were my rocks, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's really a major boulder field over here. I'm trying to make this look like a major boulder field. And then the boulder field sort of starts to slowly die out, as do mountains into the plains. And you have, rock, rock, rock. And then a little bit of more, no rocks. And then there's a rock way over there, just to continue the pattern across the whole entire space. And then again, also we'll be putting, random smaller rocks like these here and there. And they will help to for repetition and continuity. So that's what we're doing. And maybe I don't know if you need to see me using the crane, do you? Maybe I'll show you a little bit, but then I'll certainly show you the end. The end product's gonna be cool. All right, that's it. All right, got them more or less off the truck. Got one more big one to go. This one is needing to lean a little bit that way. Make it flat so you could sit up here and, watch the young studs hit home runs from a distance. I don't even know if Mickey Mantle could hit it this far. But maybe. This is dead center right here. So you can pretty much see if it's a strike. You can call balls or strikes from right here. So there's home plate right there. Yeah, just have you on your phone. Be like, strike, ball. Strike 3, you're out. Okay, so anyway, when you're putting your rocks in, you want to try to find the most interesting sides. Typically, what you want to do, you never want a negative edge, meaning like an edge that a climber is going to have to climb out, like a little miniature Ken and Barbie climber. Make it real difficult. You want it to be like vertical up. You don't want anything exposed that goes under, really. It just doesn't look good. And so you see here, I have that problem, right? Well, it's planned because the soil level is going to go right up to the edge there. I'll fill that in, and it'll look really good. And I got the pretty side of the rock facing this way, going by it, walking by it. And then this one took a while. Give me a cameraman, you can watch everything I do. Until then, I'm going to turn the camera off so I can concentrate on what I'm doing, especially when I'm moving big, heavy rocks. But yeah, there it is. Looks pretty good. Crane's working great. The other thing you have to do when you're doing this kind of thing is figure, okay, well, you need access, right? Well, I was able to dump all this dirt through here because I left just enough access for my orange tractor, that one, to come through here. And you can see when I say just enough access, I mean just enough. Those are where I rubbed on it. So, and then I'll need to add a whole bunch of soil in here after I'm done with these rocks to really bring the grade up about 18 inches, maybe 2 feet. Use all that dirt over there. We got one more giant one. It's going to go right there. Made a little volcano for it. This is going to be the granddaddy of all rocks right here. So that'll look great. Check this one out. After I got this one off the truck, I realized this is a perfect bridge rock. It could be a bench, but you have to elevate it somehow. But it's a bridge. Look. Boop, 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 boop. And guess where I need a bridge? Right here. There's going to be a little stream coming through here. A dry stream, but still a stream nonetheless. Pathway will come up. rock will be here, stream will go under the rock, then you'll exit out over here. It'll be really, really neat when I'm done. Yeah, trust me. Might be a few years, but it's gonna be great. The other side might even be better for a bridge than this side. And then this rock, look at this rock. Remember I wanted a bench here? The trick is like, what kind of bench, where do you get the bench, all that stuff. Look, what does that look like to you? What does this look like if it were tilted like that? That's a bench, my friends, right there. Let me sit on it. I'll kind of pretend, even though it's not a bad angle. See, look, it's a bench. It's definitely a bench. It's gonna go under that tree. So, but first I have to get rid of all that rock. Maybe I'll build the stream first, and then I'll move the big bench rock, but at least it's within striking distance. And then this rock here, I put one rock here, I didn't like it, right here. And then decided to use this rock. So this rock needs to move over here. I'll do that after I put the big one in. Leave the bench to sit for a few more days or weeks or months. I don't know, it depends how busy I get. But, and then again, remember, access. Look at my access. I drove over here and busted a pipe with the other crane truck. That caused a whole series of events where there's actually a video related to that. And there's that. I finally got it fixed, sort of. Still have to buy a solenoid that broke off. But yeah, so I don't want to get too close and break it again, right? This is where it broke. Look, this is where my tire went by. This is where my other tire went by. And that's about 3 inches right there. I guarantee you that would break if I drove over it. So, you know, we left good access, so that worked out. And so now, getting the big boy, this thing's probably 5 feet across. It's absolutely huge. Maybe I'll get a shot of it in the air when I get the crane going. Let's do that. But look at this. It's starting to look pretty good, huh? It's starting to look like Fred Flintstone's house. He would be proud of me. Love that guy. Barney Rubble, too. That's 12 inches. That's a foot, right? Imagine how many it takes to get across that. Like maybe 5, at least 5, maybe 6. You guys ever go to Bob's Big Boy? It was a restaurant. And there was this big chubby kid. And it was Bob's kid, I guess. And Bob's kid must have loved to eat hamburgers because he'd eat a hamburger. Had a hamburger in his hand, a little statue out front. They're collector's items now. Well, I went there a few times when I was a kid, but then they closed it, so I know that dates me, but you know what? So do these wrinkles right here and this gray hair. And you kind of need to know about these things, like Bob's Big Boy, have wrinkles like this, gray hair like this, in order to be wise, because before that, you're just stupid. And I used to be stupid. Now I'm wise. I'm still not wise enough, don't get me wrong, but I'm getting wiser every day. So that's why I don't care to be, if I date myself. Anyway, that's like Bob's Big Boy. This is a big, I'm going to say it, that's a big ass rock right there. Look at the color. Beautiful, huh? In fact, this rock is so big. This rock is so big. How big is that rock? This rock is so big. Now look what it did to the outrigger. Bonk. It's trying to find China down there. China's down there, but I think you got to go farther. I think it's got to be heavier to make it to China. But anyway, I got to get that rock here. So I don't know. Look, that might be helping hold things up too. I can't really go any farther. Remember I said how great I was at access? Well, I set these rocks here right where I wanted them. And, well, I guess I could move an inch farther up, but that's about it. That's not going to help much. So, yeah. That's a big ass rock right there. I don't know. We'll swing this thing around, but I think I got to put it down, reset the outrigger, get something under it, and then just try to could probably drag it over there. Sometimes if it's too heavy, what do? You just drag it, right? Let's try to drag it. Try to do that. We'll see. Remember I talked about being wiser? Remember I said I had to level this rock? Look, it's level. You know why? Because my wiseness from all the years I spent on this planet, hurtling through the universe, soon to burn up, and then we'll just be a faint memory in the galaxy. But until then, I'm having fun. So are you, hopefully. Using the rock. I gotta take the weight off the crane so I can lift that outrigger up and figure something out. And I got this thing level. Look, see? Look, now I just gotta shovel some dirt under there, cover that up. That thing's gonna be level. So that's what I mean when I mean wise. I mean wise. It takes a lot of years to get wise, you know? You gotta do a lot of dumb things, a lot of costly dumb things before you get wise. Let me tell you, I know, because I've done those things. Anyway, yeah, here we go. Hopefully I'm not doing anything dumb now, but we'll find out here. It's either brilliant or dumb. You don't really know until you're done. There's a very fine line between those two items. One way to get your outrigger out of trouble is to rotate. Take a load off, rotate your crane. As it rotates, it will relieve weight from the side that you need weight relieved upon. Woo! Look at that. It's like magic. Magic, I say, magic. So now I have to put some structural material in that hole, spread the weight out, no problema. You guys ever play Wheel of Fortune? Pat Sajak and Vanna White? I was in love with Vanna, but that's, I think everybody was. Anyway, so you can see right here, this is the Wheel of Fortune landing. We don't want this on this side. I want this crotch back there so I can put something really cool in it. Like some kind of yucca or something. Wait, is it gonna stay? Let's see, where does it want to stay? Where does it want to stay? So that thing swivels right there, but only if you push really hard on it. And I just did. And it looks like maybe Wheel of Fortune is almost going to stay there. Yeah, I did. I was going to demonstrate the Wheel of Fortune, but I think I already did it. I think I already got it. It's perfect, just like that. Anyway, the way the Wheel of Fortune works is you spin the thing, woo, 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 and hopefully it lands in the position and it stays, because that thing will swivel just enough. And swivel 360 degrees. It's not quite perfect, but it's almost perfect. All right, let's see if we can get it up there. This truck is really it's always that last couple of feet that's so difficult. Pretty much everything in life. All right, we got it this far. What you want to do is dig a little of that dirt out. That way, it'll set right. The Wheel of Fortune, it didn't quite turn the way I wanted it. I wanted this over here, but I might be able to spin it a little bit. Maybe. Let's see. Okay, so far so good. Got a bunch of rocks in, and once we get all these rocks done, build that dry creek, and irrigation's in for the most part already. Do final adjustments. Put some smaller rocks in, get all those little rocks in all over the place, and then plant everything. I got a ton of really cool plants I want to put in. I've had for years. You know, the thing that really irritates me up here is that, you know, these tortoises, they don't help. You know, they just sit around and watch me with these just non-emotional looks on their faces and wait. And I know what they're waiting for. They're waiting for food. So I guess I'll go get some food for them. But first I need to get this truck out of here. Get one more rock set. Then I can go and get ready for the week, because it's Sunday. And I worked yesterday, and I worked today, and I'll work tomorrow. I'll work every single day. But you know what? When you're doing something you really like, it's all fun, right? It's like one big, beautiful, three-dimensional painting that you can, destroy your fingers on. That does happen occasionally. That one's really big. That was a Boulder many years ago that did that. Anyway, as my friends like to say, I'm not the kind of person to flip the bird, but they say, oh, now everybody will see you when you flip the bird. I haven't really used it like that. I don't do that. I don't like people who do that. I don't do it myself. But if I ever did, I would be the best at it. Okay, guys, off camera, I made some more magic happen. But right when I got it perfect, got some broken concrete wedged under it, took the strap off, it was sitting there, I was putting all my stuff away. I was standing next to it, and then it just went out of nowhere. Plop! As if just the massive repercussions of my concussion of my foot and repercussions thereof caused such vibration in the ground that it shook a massive boulder loose. I guess I just have to walk softly, I guess. Tiptoe around it. So now I gotta turn the crane on and get it straightened out. If I get up like this, it looks bigger, And I want it to look big because I want to impress people. I don't want it to look little. Any little illusion I can accomplish is going to be well worth the effort, I think, here. Yeah, there you go. That's as big as I can make it look right there. That's the face. I like it. Now I got to put something behind it, make sure it doesn't fall back like I did before. Put a wedge something back there. Get that done. Won't waste your time. Do it off camera. Maybe a tiny bit more. What do you think? Just a tiny bit? Just a tiny little bit? Just a tiny bit. Tiny little bit. Oh no! We don't want that. There, like that. Okay. Maybe a little bit of this action. Coupled with a little bit of this. I'm going to quit well on the head right there. Can anyone pick out the two ugly ducklings here? Actually, there's 4. No, 5. Look. Anyway, you keep these pieces around until you're done with all your boulders. You wedge them underneath. That's what I'm going to do right now. And that is how you do it. Let's take the pressure off, see if it moves. If we put some on the other side too, probably wouldn't hurt. We do have some more pieces, let's do that. This is officially the last rock, so I could splurge on getting rid of my concrete. So I gotta get rid of it anyway. Think it's gonna stay now? Let's see. Let's see if we can make it stay. There we go. There we go. Moment of truth. Hey, it stayed. It looks big. Big and impressive. So, we are officially done. And that right there is my favorite sound. Silence, finally. All right, got our big rocks in. I could probably use a few more. Of course, we don't have our bench in. We'll get that. But I think I could use a few. That area over there is saturated. We got enough over there. Maybe some little ones just kind of flare off. Some of the big ones make them more grounded looking or more grouped. But over here, I think I could use 4 or 5 more. So maybe I should get some more. Then I'll start getting down to the nitty gritty with these guys. A lot of these are going to go around the water feature. Here's a really nice bench right there. You can elevate that and make a bench out of it. Look at that, pretty nice. Anyway, you just got to keep going, You can't stop. I don't care how long it takes. You just get on it and do it. And sooner or later, you get yourself some paradise. Just keep at it. Don't quit.